Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot, and today let's fly the latest update for the CSS Boeing 737-500 for Flight Simulator 2024. The CSS 737s have seen a major update recently, and with the upcoming release of the 300 and 400 they're also going to lower the prices, making the product more accessible to more simmers, so I think it is most definitely time that we are going to take another flight with it and see how it's going to go. Also, we are going to fly from MK Studios' brand new Rome Fiumicino airport, which I can honestly say is looking fantastic. Thank you so much to both developers for providing me with copies of those products, and then I would say we are going to get right into this to experience these brand new... Is that a GSX guy floating around? Okay, yeah, GSX has also seen an update. People are still floating, okay. So, let's get right into this and experience these brand new updates. We're going to start this one right here in Rome, and we'll fly the Air Berlin 737 over to Munich, which is going to be a quick 1-hour flight in the 737. So, I would say without any further ado, we are just going to get right into it, and we are simply going to enjoy those products. So, starting with our setup on the 7.3 then, battery on, external power is coming on, and then the emergency exit lights are already armed. Attendant call button is checked. Takeoff config warning works, park and brake is set, perfect. Then let's go ahead and test our fire warning systems. So fault and in-up detection work, and fire detection works. And the loops are working as well. Transponder is off. Then moving on to the overhead panel. No CBR switch installed on this plane, unfortunately. I'm not even sure if it would have been required back in the day of the 737 though, so we will certainly accept that. Clacker test. Stick shaker. No. I'm not sure why the IRSs have been in the nav position here, but let's switch them back off. Wait a couple of seconds and then we can switch them back on again. Like that. Alright, cool. So with that we have completed our initial safety checks. So let's get right into the plane. We'll start with the light test, which is looking fantastic. We can also test the FMC and autopilot lights on both sides. Go right down to the oxygen test, which is, well, missing the emergency setting, but okay, so be it. Alright, then let's get right into the FMC setup, and let's get right into the EFB to download our Simbrief flight plan. We're going to take the latest version here, Air Berlin 1013 from Fiumicino to Munich. So let's have a look at the weather forecast. Fiumicino has 240 at 16, 15 degrees, 1009, so we don't actually need the APU just yet. And Munich 220 at 10, a couple of gusts in the forecast, some showers of rain and snow. All at Stuttgart, likewise a couple of gusts. Not all that nice, but also not all that bad. So with all of that in mind, let's just go up a bit in the plan and have a look at the fuel section. 5.4 plus 400 taxi, 5.8. Let's take a little extra over here because of the weather. Now we're on top. Let's take 7 tons of fuel, then we should be good to go. So let's go right down here into the ground ops. And onto the load panel, then 132 passengers, 300 cargo, and we are going to increase that fuel a little bit to 7 tons, like that. Alright, let's do a real-time loading, see how that's gonna go, and hit start. Cool, so with that, loading is in progress. Oh, it just did the fuel instantly. Okay, so be it, fine. Well, and while we are waiting for that, let's go right into the FMC. Starting up here, 737-500 20K engines. Something you may notice is, even though we updated the nav data in the Navigraph panels, it still says nav data out of date. That's actually a feature, not a bug. The real 737 is going to load the new database into the standby database when it is uplinked. So we actually just gotta clear that scratchpad message here, copy the database, put it into the active, and now we got the current nav data installed on the airplane. Not a bug, it's a feature, and one that I do absolutely like. Alright then, let's go to pass init. Unfortunately, we can't place the EFB anywhere down here, so I'm just going to use the SimBrief dispatch app here. So we do not have a GPS in this airplane. For that reason, we don't need to set any positions here, so we'll just let it align. Then let's continue on. What does it say that we're in K-more? We're definitely not. We're in Lima, India, Romeo, Foxtrot. And we might just about put that up here. Our destination is going to be Echo Delta Delta Mike, and we are the Bravo Echo Romeo 107 Foxtrot. Okay, so departure arrivals, most likely going to be runway 25 in use for us, and we got the sort of departure. Actually probably Soban 5 Alpha, and then let's see where it is. Soban 5 Alpha, and then we just go to Soban. Okay, good. Then let's go down here, direct to Umtel. Here it is. Then we continue direct Sumir, direct Naxaf, direct Sotaf, and then Tango 101 Betas. Alright, like that. For the arrival, it's going to be Munich, ILS 26 left, and we'll take the Betas 26 transition. Alright, activate, and then on to the inner draft. So, set IRS position now. Lima, India, Romeo, Fox. And I think we can just take the last position here. Here we go. Alright, now on to the performance initialization. We got a cost index of 30. Reserve fuel. That's 1.2 plus 1.1, so that's 2.3 tons of fuel. Then zero fuel weight is 43.5. So flight level 360 is the planned cruise level. The wind's up there at 262 at 80. And the temperature up there is minus 53. Alright, transition altitude 6001, and we don't have anything for the takeoff page just yet. Climb page, do we need to execute this to get the 250 below 100? No, it just lost the perf data. Huh. Well, that's probably a bug. Well, that is not just probably a bug, that is a bug. So 260 at 80 and minus 53, and finally 6001. Okay, that's probably better. Yep, here we go, 250 below 100, and now we can see it. Alright, finally Lima, India, Romeo, Foxtrot. Let's put that into the fix page. I'm not sure if we can actually draw a ring on the classic. Yeah, looks like we can. Okay, perfect. So that stuff is in here. We'll get to the route in a few moments, but let's continue with the rest of our flight deck. So the yaw damper is coming on, the fuel pumps are on already. Then let's test the cross feed valve. Should go bright then dim. It does. And now it should go bright then off. And it does. And the light still works. Perfect. Galley power is on. Over here everything's set on the electrical panel. Why is the APU switch in the on position? You're not supposed to be there. Alright, refueling is complete, so fasten belts are coming on, the window heats are on, the hydraulic pumps are going to come on. Then we do want the cabin temperature. 0. I do not believe that. But nonetheless, let's go. Better safe than sorry. Start that APU. Alright, cool. Then we can put a single pack into the auto position over here. APU bleed should obviously be off. So, cruising in flight level 360, which is now set, and our landing altitude is going to be, oh, not 20,000, but 1,500. Alright, and we'll keep that thing on auto. So far so good. Anti-collision light should obviously be off. We'll put the igniter to the right-hand side, pretending that we do have maintenance here. Flight tractors on my side is the master. Runway 25 is active for the departures, but I am not 100% sure which one would be the landing runway, so we'll listen to the ATIS in a few moments. Initial climb probably around 5,000, heading around 250-ish for the time being. Then we go right down to the main panel. We'll grab the QNH in a few moments when we get the ATIS. Let's just do everything else that we can already do. So, weather radar, 5 units up, weather and turbulence position. Down here everything's set. We'll do the frequencies in a few moments, but I just don't want to have any... I'll tell you what, we'll keep it on auto. Alright, we'll need traffic, we need airports, and that's it. Our radios are set, and we can head over to the middle. I think we forgot the cargo fire test earlier. Transponder 2000 standby, the rest is looking good. And then on the right hand side, let's put that onto auto. 1215 is already active, and the comm is now set as well. Alright, perfect. So we are done with the setup. Then let's go ahead and grab our charts. So, SimBrief. Give me that flight, please. Rome for our departure is looking good. So, we need the taxi charts. That's that one, airports, and we only have a single parking chart by the looks of it. That's parking stands. Okay, that's fine. On the airport chart, let's see what our frequencies are going to be. Delivery from 0700 to 2300, 121.8. Like that, and then probably ground later on 119 or something the likes. Alright, good. Now let's also grab our ATIS, which is on 121.85. Alright. Then let's listen to the ATIS, and once we got that, we can grab our clearance and then confirm our standard instrument departure.
Departing runway 25. Wind 235 at 16. Visibility 5. Sky conditions, scattered at 2800 feet. Temperature 15. Dew point 10. QNH 1009er. Transition level 80, advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information Quebec. Rome Fiumicino Leonardo da Vinci International Airport, information Quebec. 0920 Zulu. Arriving runways 16 right, 16 left. Departing runway 25. Wind 235 at 16. Visibility 5. Sky conditions, scattered at 2800 feet. Temperature 15. Dew point 10. QNH 1009er. Transition level 80, advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions.
Alright, so...
Advise on initial contact, you have information Quebec.
ATIS Quebec is on board, then let's call for clearance. Fiume delivery, Abilene 107 Foxtrot information, Quebec, request IFR clearance to Munich.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
So, ATC, kindly by Say Intentions AI, who also happen to be a sponsor of this channel. So if you do like what you're about to see, then do check them out using the link in the video description or the pinned comment below.
Air Berlin 107, Foxtrot. Cleared to Munich via the Sus I-5 Alpha departure runway 25. Initial climb to 4,000. Departure on 125.5 squawk 3746.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, clear to Munich via the SOSA 5 Alpha departure, runway 25, climb altitude 4,000 feet, departure 125.5, squawk 3746.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, read back correct. Ground is on 122.125, safe flight, sir.
122.125, Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, see ya. Alright, beauty. So 122.125, then I'll just get off the comms here again, just so that we have a little bit of silence.
Welcome aboard Air Berlin Flight 1013, departing.
Alright, cool. So we got an initial of 4,000.
Mara Meyer, your purser, along with Captain.
Then we have departure 125.5.
Please take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you
And finally, squawk 3746.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So that's all pre-selected. So then we just got to re-enter the correct departure, because it's SOSIF, not SOVAX. As we can see up here, SOBAN. So SOBAN 5 Alpha. Okay, it tells me enter the IRS position again. We've done that though, haven't we? Well, let's check. So, position, yep, set IRS position is in here. So that should work. Alright, and the thing has aligned. But why does it tell me that the first waypoint is like 519 miles away? That is not good. Has it aligned? What? It's aligned on a completely incorrect spot. Okay, yeah, we are definitely not in 83 North. But that explains the incorrect, Okay, so we do this again. Well then, IRS is off. What if we just do a quick realign? Can we do that just on the new position? So, what's our gate? 403. Hey, it actually tells us the position over there. 41.47.9. And east, what's that? 012.15.3. Alright, let's use that one. Why did the prompt disappear? How long is the realignment taking? Tells me that it's done. Oh, and it is done. And this time the position is correct. Okay. Good. That's better. Then don't ask me what it previously aligned on. But see, that's why it's a good idea to check this. Okay, cool. So that stuff is done. Then let's just reselect the correct departure here. Runway 25. And here we go. SOSIF 5 Alpha. Do we need to continue on to SOBAN? Yes, we do. Alright, execute. Now let's quickly go over this. Plan mode, please. So, sit. SOSIF 5 Alpha is on here. And then we need the SOVAN transition, which should be somewhere on here as well. Yeah, that one. Good. Okay, cool. Then let's start right down here. So go straight ahead to Romeo Fox 792. which we got in here, and that's at a maximum of 200 knots. Then a right-hand turn, 706, maximum 200 above 3000, which we got in here. Then we continue on to 707, and that's correct, above 6000, which we also got in the FMS. 708 above flight level 110, which we got, and then on to SOSIF, which again we got. Okay, from there we got the Sovan 1 Echo, which is SOSIF, Odupa, Sovan, and we got SOSIF, Odupa, and Sovan. That all looks correct. Beautiful. Cool, so with that our SID is checked. It's not available with any conventional backup, so nothing we need to do over there. And over here I don't think there's any VOR drawn there either, is there? No, there isn't. Okay. That's fine with us. It's an RNAV 1 SID. Can we do RNAV 1 with this aircraft? Probably not, but in the absence of any... Actually, yeah, it should be able to do RNAV 1 as long as we are within DME updating range. Alright, that's fine with us. Cool, then we're done with our setup, so let's go right into the departure briefing. And for an immediate return, we've got runway 16 in use, so 16 left. Usually it's the whiskey approach over in Fiume, so that's a course of 159 on both sides. Alright, cool, so for the departure briefing, threats for the departure, well, we're not all that familiar with the aircraft. Even though I used to be type rated on it, it's a common type rating after all, from the 300 all the way through to the max. But nonetheless, we haven't flown it in a long while, so we got to keep that in mind. Apart from that, the taxiway system here in Fiumicino is sometimes a little bit complicated, so good attention to that to make sure that we aren't messing anything up there. Alright, let's turn on the APU bleed. And here we go. Right, apart from that, no threats, no nothing, basically easy going for our departure. Just one thing, the ATIS set QNH 100 something, and what do we have? 1009, Here we go, that's better. Alright, cool, so, let's do a route check. Remember, all the time you enter a route manually, it's always good practice to do. So, Lima India Romeo Foxtrot to Echo Delta Delta Mike, Bravo Echo Romeo 107 Foxtrot. SOSIF 5 Alpha Soban 1 Echo, this time it's correct. Then, direct to Amtel, direct Sumia, direct Naxef, direct Sotov, Tango 107 Betos, and then we got the Betos arrival, and we should get rid of that discontinuity down here. So let's insert Betos over there, execute, that's looking fantastic. Great, so the ground distance on this one, 476 versus 431. The difference is because of the transition into Munich. 3.7 remaining and 2.3 are required. So, time UTC is 1031, altimeter 1009, reading 20 feet, I'm afraid 1020, flight directors are on, minus the master, and the standby instruments are set. It's a left seat takeoff, runway 25, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2, and the engine outsits straight at 25 miles to pick up a holding somewhere around 25 miles out, 3,000 feet, as that is basically over the open ocean. So, emergencies as briefed in the crew room, and for the taxi it's going to be a pushback with a nose to the left-hand side, and then we'll have to see where they are going to clear us to. There's quite a couple of options. Many taxiways have dual designators, so something like Alpha Bravo, so we got to be sure not to confuse any of that. But apart from that, I think we are going to be totally fine. Our departure, we've just checked it already, straight ahead right-hand turn, initially 200 knots, so we might have to keep the flaps extended, most likely in flaps 1, and climbing initially 4,000 feet. Contact departure when advised on 125.5, and that's everything I got. Any questions? No? Beautiful, then that's our briefing completed. Alright, let's say hello to our passengers, and then we're ready to go. Liebe Fluggäste, einen wunderschönen guten Morgen aus dem Cockpit, hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel, im Namen der Air Berlin darf ich Sie herzlich an Bord unserer Boeing 737-500 auf unserem Weg nach München begrüßen. Die Flugzeit heute circa 1 Stunde und 15 Minuten. Wir erwarten einen weitestgehend ruhigen Flug in 36.000 Fuß oder circa 11.000 Metern Flughöhe. Lehnen Sie sich jetzt zurück, machen Sie sich bei uns an Bord gemütlich und wir melden uns dann im Anflug mit dem neuesten Wetter. Wir werden noch in Kürze unsere Motoren starten, warten jetzt noch auf die letzten Informationen zur Beladung des Flugzeugs und werden uns dann auf den Weg machen. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel in the name of Air Berlin. Welcome aboard our Boeing 737-500 on our flight from Rome to Munich. Today's flight time will be an hour and 15 minutes, cruising in 36,000 feet or approximately 11,000 meters. The flight is expected mostly smooth, and we will start our engines in a few minutes once we have received the latest paperwork. For now, sit back, relax, and make yourself comfortable, and if there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew members. Alright, so we're done with that. Then let's go ahead and check out what our load is doing. So, ground ops, just 61%. Yeah, do it instantly, please. Load completed. Thanks. Okay, cool. So, zero fuel weight is 43.5 and the CG 23.5. So 43.5 is in here, and cruise CG 19.5, that's fine with me. 50.3 tons of weight, which matches with our book. So let's go right up here. Don't tell me we need to scroll all the way up. Is there no easier way to do this? Ah, click and hold. Okay, that is easy. So 50.3. Here we go, 50.3, 46 degrees of flex temperature, 32, 33, 39. So, outside air temperature was 15 degrees. And the flex temperature is 46 degrees. Like that. So, takeoff speeds, 32, 33, 39. Here we go. So, pre-flight complete. On page number 2, nothing we need to do. Takeoff N1 85.4. Do we have that anywhere on here? No, unfortunately not. Okay, that's fine though. Alright, so that stuff is done. Then we need our flap retraction speeds. So, approach page, we're at 40, 127 plus 70 knots on the 737. So that's 197 clean. Can't we move these? Yeah, we can. So 197 clean, but only in... Oh, that's annoying. Okay, looks like the bucks are kind of split here. Okay, so be it. So 132, 133. Which is roughly here, and 139 is V2. Alright, that's all set. So, single pack only on the 737 Classic. And then let's tell GSX to prepare the position for pushback and departure. So, ground ops is done, doors should be closing now, then APU is on bus so the ground power can go, park and brake is set so the chocks can be removed. Well then, let's go, safety inspection checklist and before start checklist down to the line please. Services and chocks checked, maintenance status checked, batteries on, electric hydraulic pumps on, landing gear lever down, ship's library checked, IRS mode selectors, nav gear pins, 1, 2, 3 removed, probe covers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 removed, light test checked, oxygen test 100%, yaw damper on, nav transfer and display switches, normal and, well, normal, fuel, that's 6.5 required, 6, 9 on board and 4 pumps on, cabin utility FE galley power on, emergency exit lights on, fast modes on, window heat on, air conditioning pressurization, PAX auto bleeds on set, pressurization mode selector, auto, instruments cross-checked, auto brakes, RTO, hydraulics. Down here are looking good, normal. Speed brake is down returned, park and brake set, stop from cutout which is normal, radius, radar and transponder set standby, run on aileron trim screen 0, take a briefing disgusting, PA complete, FMC CDU set, N1 and IS box. We got 32, 33, 39 and set. Stop trim. Interesting, we don't have the trim on the FMS. Well, suppose it's a 737 Classic after all, not an NG. So, trim, do we have that anywhere here? No, we don't. Then it's got to be on the load page. Oh yeah, here we go. Stab trim 3 units. Okay, stab trim 3.0 set. Performance weight and balance sign set. Folds off. EFB, airplane mode stowed. Flight windows and cockpit door are locked. Doors closed. Passengers seated before start checklist complete down to the line. Alright then, perfect. Let's go ahead and get our pushback clearance. Fiumicino ground, Abilene 107 Foxtrot, request pushback and startup.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, unable. Contact the appropriate controller for those requests.
He said 122125, didn't he? Yeah, actually, let's try that again. Abilene 107 Foxtrot, request pushback and startup. Otherwise, we try 1219, which is the general ground frequency. No? Okay. Fiumicino ground, Abilene 107 Foxtrot, request pushback and startup.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, pushback and startup approved. Face northeast.
Pushback and startup approved, facing northeast, Abilene 107 Foxtrot. Before start checklist below the line. Air compacts off, anti-collision on, park and brake set, transponder alt off, before start checklist complete. So, ground flight deck, push and start is approved, face northeast, and the park and brake is set. Okay, you just got face north, that's fine, then release park and brake please. Park and brake released, clear to push, and we're standing by for your clearance to start the engines. Alright, here we go. It's been a little while since we've flown the 737 Classic, but the flight deck layout is just one of my, or I should say used to be, one of my favorites. Just that very nice mix between modern and old.
Welcome aboard Air Berlin Flight 1013, heading to Mauerkirchen with an estimated flight time of 1 hour and 15 minutes. Please take close
Alrighty!
demonstration as it contains
So, are there any markings on the ground that would indicate... Oh yeah, here we go. 41, that's where we're pushing poop.
Ryanair 941 X-ray ready to taxi.
to release. Lift the buckle.
Ryanair 941 X-ray, runway 25 taxi via Echo Bravo.
So, ground flight, we're ready for engine start. Sequence will be 2 then 1. And we'll commence engine 2 start now.
Ensure your window blinds are
Runway 25 taxi via Echo Bravo, November Golf, November Bravo,
And 2.
Bravo Alpha, Ryanair 941 X-ray.
laptops or larger devices should be
Oil
securely
pressure?
stowed during takeoff and landing.
Aerotalia 2348,
Smoking
taxi to
and
parking.
removals of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. If
Aerotalia
required,
2348,
oxygen masks will drop
taxi to
by
parking
And
via
1.
Lima Delta Hotel, Sierra Mike Zulu Victor Whiskey Kilo.
nose and mouth and breathe normally.
Here's 25%.
Secure your own
Delta
mask
Lima
and
Delta
oxygen
Hotel,
mask.
Sierra Mike Zulu
Life
Victor
vest
Whiskey
will
Kilo
keep you
Aerotalia
safe.
2348.
To put it on, pull it over your head, fasten it and inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Special life vests for children are available. Floor-level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit.
Start cutout, monitor 2. And the pushback is completed, set park and brakes.
Front and 2 at the rear of the aircraft. The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of evacuation,
Why is that thing not setting? I am pressing the
all
brakes.
safety instructions from the crew immediately. If any electronic device becomes unusually
Here we go. Park and brake set.
or shows signs
Okay, good start on 2, starting 1.
immediately.
Engine 1 start.
Information card in your seat pocket contains all details. Thank you for your attention.
And 2. Oil pressure. And 1. Start a cutout, monitor 1. So about 45 seconds. That's actually quite good. Cool. And engine 1 stable. Oh god, GSX is blocking the click spot.
Romeo Mike request pushback.
10x4 Romeo Mike cleared for push and start.
Start approved, Channel 4 Romeo Mike.
No, click spot not all that easy to find, but here we go. Alright then, have we received the clear signal yet? Yeah, there she is running. Alright, flight control track. Pull up, pull down, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral, rudders. Full left, full right, neutral. Before taxi checklist, please. Generators on, APU off, start switches continuous. Probe heat on, anti-ice off, air conditioning, PAX auto, bleeds on, isolation valve auto, flaps, 5 required, 5 selected and a green light. Stop trim 3 units set, start levers idly 10, flight controls checked, recall checked, default taxi checklist complete. Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, request taxi.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, runway 25 taxi via November Zulu, Golf, November Bravo, Bravo Alpha.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, checking in runway 25 via November Zulu, Golf, November Bravo, Bravo Alpha. Okay.
Runway 25 taxi via Charlie Foxtrot, Romeo Bravo, Bravo Alpha, Wiz Malta 714.
So, November Zulu, Golf, November Golf, Bravo, and Bravo Alpha is at the full length. So straight ahead, right, left, to the full length. Clear left side, clear right side. Brake released, config, checked. So compared to the NG, the Classic is a pretty light aircraft, so I am not sure whether it is correct that the plane is rolling on idle or not. I just can't comment on it. Maybe realistic if the CFM engines are producing as much idle thrust on the Classic as they are on the NG. Because remember, our takeoff weight is somewhere around 50 tons. That would be pretty much impossible on the NG. Okay, so straight ahead, then we're going on to Golf, and then to the right-hand side. By the way, I'm not sure if you can actually see it on the video, but did you notice that the primary flight display here is flickering a little bit? But that actually looks like a feature, not a bug. It's an old CRT screen after all, so that could absolutely happen. Look down here, now I can see it a bit better. I like that, I do.
68 Bravo Hotel, taxi to the gate.
Okay, so next left into November Golf.
Taxi to parking via Delta Lima, Delta Hotel, Sierra Mike, Zulu Victor, Whiskey.
Delta Lima, Delta Hotel.
So we're now here, turning left on November Golf, and
Bravo Hotel.
via Bravo to the full length.
Ground Emirates 6 Juliet Lima, taxi to the ramp.
Okay, clear left side and clear right side.
Hotel Romeo.
Alpha Echo Bravo Hotel Romeo, Emirates 6 Juliet Lima.
So about 50% N1. Well, 40% is what I said. Well, what I wanted to say, that way around. And that's about the maximum you should use in the CFM56 engine for taxi. Alright, before takeoff checklist down to the line. Config. Checked. Flaps 5 green lights. Dub trim 3 units set. Takeoff briefing. Left seat takeoff runway 25. Flaps 5. Noise abatement procedure number 2. And for the takeoff we got speeds 32, 33, 39. Sit straight ahead right turn. Emergency straight ahead 25 miles climbing 3000. That keeps us safe over the open water. Apart from that I got nothing special, nothing non-standard, and well, that's pretty much it, isn't it? So, cabin is secure before takeoff checklist complete down to the line. Alrighty.
Start approved. Itaro 896.
Left side is clear, right side is clear. Now here's something strange though, we're using 33% N1 and the airplane still doesn't really accelerate above 12 knots. It should accelerate a little bit more than that. Alright, so Bravo to the right, and then Bravo Alpha is the full length runway 25. Once we're on the straight line, we will see how well we can accelerate with this. By the way, lovely ground textures here, aren't they? I think MK has really done a great job on that with the new Fiumicino airport.
Alitalia 863, taxi to parking via Delta Lima, Delta Echo Golf, Echo Bravo.
So let's go up to 40% N1, which is the maximum that we can use for taxi, and see how well the aircraft is going to accelerate with that.
45 Tango, runway 25 taxi via Victor, Zulu, Mike, Tango, Bravo, Bravo, Alpha.
Alright, Airbus on the right. Always funny when you think about it. The 737 Classic has been produced until like 2004. The A320 entered service, or first flew, in the late 1980s.
Italia 168 Tango ready to taxi.
Just imagine how much of a shock it must have been for pilots to transition from something like this over here to an A320. Completely different worlds, aren't they? But it explains where a lot of the sentiment comes from, and where a lot of this, oh, mine is better than yours, originated. Just two completely different worlds. Alright, Bravo Alpha is half left.
Air Berlin 107, Foxtrot, contact tower on 127.625. Take care.
127.625, Air Berlin 107, Foxtrot, see ya.
Ryanair 8 Charlie Juliet ready to taxi.
Alright, could you set that frequency for me, please?
Via November Charlie, November Golf, November Bravo, Bravo Alpha.
Apparently not.
Ready to taxi.
Itaro 896, runway 25 taxi via November Golf, November Bravo, Bravo
Come on,
Alpha.
go active. Fiumicino Tower, Abilene 107 Foxtrot, ready for departure.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, Fiumicino Tower, runway 25, winds 230 at 16, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 25, clear for takeoff, Abilene 107 Foxtrot. Oh, come on. Those click spots are a little bit annoying. They can definitely improve those. So, before takeoff checklist, below the line. MCP. Set. Transponder. Tara. Strobe lights on. Landing lights on. Before takeoff checklist complete. Alright, are you ready?
Ground Delta 148.
That does sound good. Then I'd say take off. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. .100 knots, checked. V1 rotates. Positive climb. Gear up. LNAV.
Alitalia 719er, winds 240 at 16, runway 16 right, cleared to land.
16 right, cleared to land. Alitalia 719er.
Alright, bug up.
Air Berlin 107, Foxtrot, contact departure on 125.5.
125.5, Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Come on. And flaps up. Speed check, flaps up. Interesting flight director command. Is that exceeding 30 degrees? Fiumicino departure, Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, passing 3,400, climbing 4,000. Okay, flaps up and alight. VNAV.
Air Berlin 107, Foxtrot, Rome approach identified. Climb flight level 070.
Climbing flight level 70, Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot. Set, and VNAV speed. Alright, let's give it some autopilot here. Command A. And after takeoff checklist. And vertical.
107 Foxtrot, climb flight level 220.
Climbing flight level 220, Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot. Set. 220 checked. Set standard. So cross check, passing flight level 66 now. So, after takeoff checklist, air condition and pressurization, 3.0, climbing, set, and, well, that looks a little bit warm in there. 43 degrees in the passenger cabin. Well, let's get that down. Alright, and altimeter standard set, after takeoff checklist complete. Alright, I'd say for a first takeoff, after not flying this plane in a long while, that wasn't too bad. Obviously, those aircraft are meant to be flown by two pilots, so it might have been a little bit easier if we had a second one available. Also, let's put the brightness up a bit so that we can actually read the fuel gauges a bit better. That's 737 logic. These things are all intertwined somehow. Alright then, we're about to go through a couple clouds, engine anti-ice on. And engine anti-ice is on. Altimeters, passing level 104, climbing level 220, 10 checks. Fuel is balanced with 4 pumps on, lights off, APU off, aircon and press, 4.3, climbing and set, fasten belts. They're going to stay on until we're through the clouds, but let's release the cabin already. Then recall is checked. We are monitoring 1 to 1.5, and that's the 10 checks completed. Also, let's put that weather radar on here.
Tango, flight level 250.
Down to flight level 250.
Alright! I think that's all I can offer you for the time being, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight, and then I see you all when we start our approach towards Munich. Okay, I told you I would know if anything interesting happens, and something interesting did just happen. I entered an altitude restriction over at the waypoint Betos, and it deleted our entire route. So, I'll hold, Mach 0.77. Then, this is by the way the reason why we always have to synchronize the heading block. Heading select, and then it's time to get to work. So let's reconstruct that route. I've got absolutely no idea what it did here. We've been inbound to Sotov. Let's see if we still have that waypoint in front of us or behind us. Yeah, it's still in front of us. That's good. Alright, Sotov, execute. LNAV. Now, let's reinsert the arrival here. 26 left, Betas 26. Execute. And now, behind Sotov, we've got Tango 101 Betos.
Milan radar, Air Berlin 107, Foxtrot. Good afternoon, level flight level 360.
So here we go, now the stuff is in again. Let's reinsert the let's rejoin the route over there. And then reinsert the restriction. That's better. Okay. Good. Then we got the top of descent coming up anyway, so let's just go ahead and do a quick approach briefing as well. In the meantime, all the rest over here is looking good. However, let's go ahead and increase that descent speed a little. Give me 280 knots, please. Here we go. Okay, so threats for the arrival. Honestly, I don't really have anything. So, we've got speed 250 below 10,000. We don't need any fixed rings in this one. And we've got the Betas 26 transition for an ILS approach runway 26 left. That thing is on the ILS chart 11-3. And we've got frequencies 108.3, which are pre-selected once and twice, so we just got to switch it from auto-tuning towards manual here. When we start the approach, final approach course is 261, set on both sides, and 1670 for the minimums. That equals 200 radio, which is also pre-selected. Missed approach then straight at 1 DME Delta Mike Sierra, left turn to Ottersberg, and we have to tune that as soon as the as we fly it, because you can't pre-select something in the 737 Classic. That's fine. So ADF on 400. Let's do that real quick. Here we go, 400.0 set, and we'll put that up on the RMI. Okay. Alright, cool. So, auto brakes, level 1, no, level 2. Vacate the runway to the left, flaps 30 approaches prepared. Note that we cannot actually enter that over here, but I've set all the speed box for the approach. 132 is the VREF, which we got in here. Alright, and that's it. Well then, that's pretty much everything we got for the approach briefing. So for now, just sit back, relax, and continue to enjoy the flight. And then I'll update you as soon as we start the approach to our destination airport.
Good afternoon. Level flight level.
Alrighty, we are nearing our destination airport, and we've just been assigned runway 26 right for our approach instead of 26 left that we had previously set up, so a little bit more work to do for us over here. In the meantime, we are descending and cleared for the BETAS 26 transition, so that's what we are going to join here momentarily. So let's go ahead and start setting up. Departure arrival, then we got ILS 26 right and still the BETAS 26 transition, which we can execute, and still have in here. FMC is looking good as well. Now I did kind of anticipate that this might happen, so I did actually prepare the approach chart for 26 right. Frequency is 108.7. Like that, and the final approach course 261 is set on both sides. The minimum is 1650, which is now set, and that still equals 200 feet radio. Now, that's the basic setup. The transition is the same. The approach now starts in Gudek, and in the FMC we got Gudek 5000, and then we're going all the way down to the runway. Missed approach is straight ahead to 1 DME. East of Delta Mike November, right turn to Mike India Quebec, which is frequency 426. So that's gonna be 4. Come on. 4, 2. Turn. Here we go. 426. Come on. Why doesn't it let me change my view? Here we go. Okay, so the NDB on that one is 338 on the approach, so let's also tune that. 3. Okay, that's 1,000 to go. Checked. And 8. Here we go. Set. And now it's blocking my camera once again. Here we go. Okay then, approaching 10,000. Let's start reducing our speed. And then we can start with the 10 checks. So the fuel is now balanced, and we got 4 pumps on, lights on, angle of bank 25 degrees, and aircon and press that 1 point. There's something seriously wrong with those landing field elevations. Landing altitude 1,500.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, descend altitude 5,000 feet. Cleared for the ILS runway 26 right approach via vessel 26. QNH 09096.
Descending 5,000, QNH 90906, and expecting the ILS 26 right, Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot. Alright, vertical speed 5,000 checked, set QNH. 90906 checked, passing 8,400. Well, 8,300. Now, checked. Alright, so that's everything looking good. Engine anti-ice on. And then let's revise our approach briefing. So, threats for the arrival are still unchanged. Yeah, down here everything's in. We don't need any rings. The approach starts in Gurek, 5000. Go around straight at 1 DME East or 1900, whichever's later, right to Mike near Quebec, climbing 5000. Flaps 30, auto brake low, well, auto brake 2 to vacate the runway to the left-hand side, and then taxi is going to be by whatever ATC is going to assign us. Fuel on arrival, 4.1, 2.3 required, giving us a good 45 minutes on top. And that's it. Any questions? Nope. Alright, descent checklist. Pressurization, land out 1500. Any IS on, approach wind fuel disgusting, IS null box checked and set. And that's the approach checklist completed. Good, then let's do the frisk check up next. So, frequency is 108.7, no rings, idents to be checked, standby instruments are set, and the course is 261. Approach checklist, altimeters and instruments, cross check, approach rates, checked and set, approach checklist complete. Okay, so let's put you onto the terrain, please. Weather off, terrain on. And that's it. Okay, nice. 500 feet a minute are going to do the job here. We might be able to achieve a continuous descent arrival, but we'll see about that. Alright, then let's see if we can already receive the ILS items. Should be India Mike November Whiskey. But in fact, I'm not receiving anything at all. I think that's a simulator bug. Not even something the airplane could do anything about. Alright, so be it. 1000 to go. Checked. Alright, once we're beam Gudek, we can start our turn to the final. Can't see the field just yet. I gotta say I like the look of the baby 737. Just look at how huge the wing is compared to the NG. You really see that the technology has improved quite a bit. Alright, so back into the flight deck. And once we're beam Gudek, I'll tell them that we're ready to turn base. Alt acquire. Now that's a funny little thing. You can see Alt acquire comes on very early over here. In fact, in the 737 NG, it did the same thing when you descended at a very low rate of descent. Typically, I mean, I never tried 500, but like 300 feet a minute or so. It would often just go into alt acquire when you were like 200 or 300 feet above the cleared altitude, and then it would dive down at 1500 feet a minute to intercept the altitude, which was like, I don't know, doesn't make sense to me. Alright, here we go, getting out of the clouds. Good old classic 737. Alright. Airberlin 107 Foxtrot is ready to turn base. I might have been speaking a little bit quick here. Let's...
Airberlin 107 Foxtrot, turn left heading 260, descend altitude 3,000 feet.
Turn left at 260 and descend at 3,000, Airberlin 107 Foxtrot.
Descending.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I still had the FO in charge here and say intentions. Let's bring that over to myself. Here we go. And down to 3000. That's going to be 1500 AGL. We'll make that a very shallow descent. A very shallow one. Okay, so Gudek on top. And intercept course, well, it says 258 down here. Probably a slightly out of date nav database. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's try erase. And I'm going to stop that turn on heading like 330. Because I want a proper intercept of the ILS. So direct 2, Gudek. Intercept black 258. Nope. Okay, well it doesn't matter. Execute. Alright, and then we'll turn final. Like 280. Okay, approach armed. The tower will be 118 something.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, contact Munich Tower on 118.705.
118.705, Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, bye bye. Alright, and then let's take over and have some fun. Munich Tower, Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, established ILS 26 right. So, Warlock captured. Runway heading 261.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, Munich Tower.
Let's quickly
Servus,
fix
identified
that.
ILS 26 right approach. Continue.
Yeah, the identified is what you have to say in the upper airspace, my friend. Interesting. Looks like I blocked myself out of making changes to the legs page.
Echo Lima.
Alright,
Contact
flaps 1.
ground on 121.
Hello, flaps 1.
83.
Thank you. And that gets you the gear warning. That's normal in this airplane. So give me 180 knots. Here we go. Yeah, that was a kind of strange descent clearance here down to 3000. Seeing that the airport elevation is in 1500. I mean, according to ICAO standard you can do that, but yeah. I'm not sure if I would have done it. Well, I am sure that I wouldn't.
Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot, Munich Tower, winds 230 at 8. Runway 26 right, cleared to land.
Runway 26 right, clear to land, Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot. Alright, 3000. As soon as the glide slope starts coming alive, we are going to reduce speed further. Very easy to fly this. I like it. Alright, glide slope alive. Flaps 5. Hey, why is the flap lever not moving? And gear down. A lot of stuff to do at the same time here right now. So, flaps 15. And flaps 30. 137 knots final approach speed. Come on, airplane. That pitch is a little exaggerated. Yes, we are a few knots slow, but... Glide slope capture. So set go on altitude. 5,000 feet set. And landing checklist. Start switches. Continuous. Recall. Check. Speed brake. Armed green light. Landing gear down 3 green. Auto brakes 2 set. Flaps 30 green light. Step trim. Oh, why am I saying step trim? Landing lights on. Landing checklist complete.
Runway 26 right. Cleared to land.
Why is he clearing a Lufthansa to land on 26 right? No, we are on final now.
Lufthansa 1 Echo Whiskey, contact ground on 121.83.
Definitely an airplane where you do need a first officer. At least until they improve the click spots a little bit, because they make it, let's say, time intensive. But alright, here we are, established on a nice final. So, minimum continue. So, speed brakes up, thrust was normal. 100 knots, 80 knots. Manual brakes. Auto brake disarm.
Air Berlin 107, Foxtrot, Munich Tower, contact ground on 121.83.
12183, Evelyn 107, Foxtrot. Why does it keep slowing down? The auto brake is off already. Welcome to where? Oh, it must be Munich.
Thank you for flying with Air Berlin. Please remain seated until we reach our final park.
Ground hello, Evelyn 107 Foxtrot. Request taxi to the gate.
We wish you a pleasant stay here. The local time is 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Air Berlin 107, Foxtrot, Servus. Taxi to apron, 2 gate 62, via Alpha 9er. November 3, Whiskey 2, Delta 2, Echo 2, D3, Blue. Wiedersehen.
Yeah. Please say again for Air Berlin 107 Foxtrot.
Air Berlin 107, Foxtrot, Servus. Taxi to apron, 2 gate 62, via Alpha 9er, November 3.
No, we're not going to apron 2, we're parking at apron 1.
Echo 2, D3, Blue.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If we're parking at apron 1 anyway, then I'm just not going to bother with this, but instead I will simply turn say intentions off, and we'll just taxi to the gate on our own. Alright, so we've made it all the way to Munich. Now let's go ahead and get ourselves straight to the taxiway, and then we can do the after-landing procedures. And do note that the thrust required for taxi here is still a little bit high. I mean, reaching 30 knots should not require like 56% or something. Okay, that's set. Then let's turn that flight director off. Speed down to the minimum, 5,100. difficult to find that click spot. Here we go. Alright. There is no after landing checklist on the 737, and obviously I did forget the flaps. Flaps are really difficult to handle here. That is not an optimal click spot. And sometimes it has this problem that the lever just doesn't... Yeah, and then you end up in the grass because you are focused somewhere else. That's something they need to improve. The user interface is something that certainly still needs improvement. These up and down clicks that they are using are not very good. They should do that like, well, most of the other developers. I mean, just enable the mouse wheel. And why make click spots like, for example, the those switches over here? Why do you have an up click spot and a down click spot? Why not a single one that's going to simply trigger the switch? I mean, it's just a single way of movement there. I'm definitely going to give that feedback to the developers. Well, apart from that though, let's talk about our experience flying the CSS 737-500 today. Now, first of all, it's made a huge leap from the first time we flew it. The first one back then really had trouble, and well, now that has improved quite a bit. We could do a flight from A to B. We had that FMC reset in flight, which I really didn't understand why. But apart from that, the plane really made a good leap forward, and I'm very happy to see that. So, at what level is the plane currently then? Well, I would say it's in a shape where it definitely still needs further development, but it is also in a shape where it starts getting enjoyable to fly. There are things like, for example, the IRS alignment on an incorrect position. I'm not sure why that happened, but we could fix it with a quick realignment, so that's good news. And overall, I tend to say that progress on this airplane is good. It still needs more progress, there's no question about it. But once the prices are actually dropping from where they are at the moment, which they have announced they will as soon as the 300 and the 400 are released, once that happens, I'm fairly sure that this is going to become an enjoyable airplane. Probably nowhere near the system fidelity of aircraft like the PMDGs or the Phoenix, but then again, it doesn't necessarily have to be. It has to do what the developers advertise it will do, and once it's doing that, I am absolutely happy. So with that said, let's make our way to the gate. Shouldn't be too far off now. Starting APU as well, which shouldn't cause a master caution, by the way. So yeah, overall, nice progress visible, more progress needed for sure, and once the prices are dropping, I will say this is actually becoming an affordable and enjoyable add-on. They still have, and probably will keep, the option that you can do a subscription to the airplane. Costs like €6 or something for 30 days, and that gives you a good opportunity to check the airplane out yourself at a very low cost. I would absolutely advise to do that if this is an airplane that you would be interested in. It definitely still needs some more work, but you can just check it out at a very cheap cost to see if you like what you get, and then you can still decide if you want to buy the full version of the airplane later on. I would say that's a pretty good deal, and one that I would hope more developers would actually implement. But for now, let's make our way into the gate and get parked over here so that our passengers can deboard and connect to whichever other flights they are connecting to. So, gate 111 Alpha. I can't be bothered getting out GSX right now, so we'll just park ourselves here. Alright, and here we are. So the parking brake is set, the APU is available. And on the buses, so we got 2 blue, 1 red, engines dead. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. Alright. So, engines are running down. Oh, that's the wrong switch. Told you, click spots are still a little bit messy here. Let's also put the APU bleed on. Remember, only a single pack in the Classic. And we got both engines below 20%. No, wrong switch. Click spots. Told you. Alright, and here we go. So, transit shutdown checklist please. Electrical on APU, fast modes off, prop heat auto, NEIs off, aircon conditioning packs 1 auto, engine bleeds on, APU bleed on, exterior lights, steady and wheel well, start switches off, auto brake off, speed brake down to 10, flaps up and light, parking brake set, start lever is cut off, weather radar is off, transponder 2000 standby, CB/RCB in, and cockpit door unlocked. Well then, thank you very much for flying along everyone. As always, be sure to leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. As always, like, comment and subscribe and let me know how you like this airplane. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.